punchy little way. Bum, 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 bum. There's a punchy little way. Punchy little way, way. Boom, bum, bum. There's a punchy little way. Boom, bum, bum, ba. There's a punchy little way. A punchy little way. Boom, ba, boom, boom, ba. There's a punchy little way. Punchy little way. Boom, boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. There's a punchy little way. Punchy little way. Hey, boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. There's a punchy little way. Boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. There's a punchy little way. Trying to get my smell. Boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. There's a punchy little way. Punchy little way, way. Boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. A punchy little way. Punchy. Those people are doing nothing for their dog. Boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. Punchy little way. Punchy little way, way. Boom. I love the fact that that dog added their bark. Punchy little way, punchy little way, way, boom, pa, ba, boom, boom, pa. Punchy little way, way, boom, pa, ba, boom, boom, pa. A punchy little way, boom, 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 ba-da-da. The sun in the sky holds out a knowledge that I would like to warm my mind, like the beginning of time itself, and I could feel like a song in any way that it formed upon my mouth. It moved from first I lose. Nothing that I long, nothing that I long, nothing that I long, nothing that I long, yeah. Nothing that I long, yeah. Nothing that I long, ooh, nothing that I long, yeah. Nothing that I long, ooh, nothing that I long, nothing that I long. Green grasses, country road, miles and miles of fenced off farmland that a man wants to know. Oh, nothing that I long, nothing that I long, nothing that I long, nothing that long, nothing that long, nothing that I long, nothing that I long. I know that's the sun that shines and the wind that blows and the summer is kind and the feeling of the sand and beneath my feet and the smell of the distant trees in the light of the sun in the dawn of the day in the lamp of the heavens and of the earth in me and the feather and the letter in the sand and the time that the weather was at our command and the feather of the future and the feather of the spring and the feather of the laws of the laws of the laws of the mother of the king and the clouds that move and the moon and that shape that it makes and it's half the way through gets a little bigger, gets a little less, comes in and out of our consciousness, something like a tide people feel in their blood, get a knowing to the knowing of our thoughts and our feelings up Up, up, up and down like the tide, the wind and around your flesh and blood, and the sky and the sun and the green and the gold, in the paths of the sun and the stone, and the grass and the mountains deep in my blood and bone. But I think so. I got those geese out there. They almost look like whales from here. So the dog was barking, could smell me but couldn't quite see me, and then was fine on the way back. Behind me. So I just, yeah, took a moment. It was a good reaction. You could tell the owners are like, oh, you could tell without thinking. Like, they can tell, you can even almost smell the thought, like, oh, our dog doesn't normally do this. It's like, I'm sure it's no big deal. I'm just curious. It's something they don't normally smell. Maybe you're a drug dealer from Colombia or something. Who knows? And the sound and the bone and the song on my lips, and the sun in the limbs, in the wings of the wilds where I've walked, and the strength of the lengths for which I would go chase all the winds of my thought. And if I thought it would help, and if I thought I could turn back time and never love before love was a word or a way to make a dime, and I would find a big old jar and had to keep that love inside. I put it down in my grandfather's cellar, and I'd let it hide. And then when the world grew weary and we lost our way, I'd know just where to find the right time to say, I got a jar with love untouched by the world, and I'll let you see it if you do something for me. And this is what I asked the world. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. I want you to listen to this song. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. As sure as my mother, boom, 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 I was in love with my dad. Boom, boom, boom. That's very little truth, boom, very little truth that I've had in my hand. There's very little of your ancient scrolls that have been better hand. The honest flesh and blood, the voice of the voice of a man. And I think I want your ears, and I want your murmurs on your lips. I want you to repeat after me, after the Great Spirit says, Landon, you've brought yourself to a place where a man needs to go. You got as far from your people as a man can stand, who would find and find sound his home. You never want to leave the land of love. There's a sweetness in our youth that the world can take from you. There's a sadness that smells so sweet as you drink that milk from your mother's teeth. And I hold in my finger like I hold your heart, like the feather of a bird that came and said, I regret, but I have to depart. I gotta fly through a window. I've gotta sound like the star. I've gotta part the curtains of the darkest day and fill the sky with sparks. In short, I've got a journey, something I gotta do. I'm sorry when I saw you that I left you feeling blue. I'm sorry for a lot of things, the way your people feel, the way the mightiest man can squirm when he loses his sense of what is real. Something that defies the heart, the mind could hardly seize. A voice that runs too free can find a place to start. A story that could never go far enough to make up for all the hearts. I think that this sun stops going boom, 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 like their mother's and their father's heart. As it sounded through their every breath and thought. And had they come to blows across generations of mythological and diabolical combat, that love would be made sound through you, and all would be made well. The very spirit of man wants that. Every son or daughter of this strange and malignant mother and fatherland that has confounded our voices no more than when we would most lay bare to the mercies of our fellow man. And so the great silence becomes all our generosity concealed beneath the grimaces which greet us by day and night. None too happy nor too sad to part us from our dearest misapprehensions of the earth, that they might be here too foul and here not foul enough, never to be stirred too much, on what rest we might steal from the many engines of the world. Say, fair enchanted wilds, that our hearts may yet breathe those airs which are of the first kind. And like burnt toast and peanut butter, flavored coffee, the world should be made whole again with a few kind words. Another day to greet you, to say you have another chance. A lot of people have tried, but none have listened to the wind in the wild quite like ye. And you can feel that if you can feel some pain inside of you that moves around, a little bit like the hysterias of some Victorian character seized by all kinds of pangs when her daughter marries an insufficiently rich gentleman, or something more insidious than that. It's more insidious when the woes we do not say. Make sure that, or my brain has made sure for me that I keep track of so many of the most awful things I've ever heard or seen. And that time basically tends to kind of make them look even worse. And there's probably a reason for that. Maybe the same reason the moon sometimes looks bigger in the sky and so forth. And that's where I would benefit from reciting or relating such stories to other people. And they could, as they would probably want to, put it into some kind of proportion that fits with their sense of the world. Or they might remark that I just seem to have an unhealthy obsession with putting together very particularly, if poignant but horrifying, anecdotes that I have gleaned from the rather inconsistent acquaintance that I have with my fellow man. I hold on to that shit because it's like all I really hold on to most of the time. Hey, that's honest. A little too revealing, perhaps, but honest. A little too revealing. My memoir. The memoir I'll never write for someone who will never want to read it. Maybe if my memoir could be 3 words, suck it. And you're like, what? That's not 3 words. The 3rd word is my penis. What? That doesn't even make sense, man. You've lost the ability to make sense. There are people walking all around me. They want to take my testosterone off like Anne Frank. I won't let them. This will be my diary. It'll just be Frank. The diary of Frank. They want my testosterone. The chemtrail demons. They're trying to get my testosterone because I call their trails demon semen. Look, they're coming for me now. Like the hounds of the Baskervilles. You hear the distant barks. They always come with the barking dogs at night. I keep singing American flag. Those boats down there. It's interesting. There's nothing like the spirals in the dark. There's nothing like the spirals in the dark. The dark of Jesus. In the dark of Jesus. Where does Jesus go when he's feeling glum? He needs to retreat from a world of torture and crucifixion. What's the happy place of Jesus? I'd like to be Jesus' psychiatrist. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yes, some people say that I am the Christ. Don't crucify me. That's all right, Mr. Christ. I'd just like to know, like, where do you go when you want to relax, get away from it all and just, kick back. The Son of Man doesn't... Look, Jesus, cut the bullshit, all right? I can prescribe you anything you want. All right? I am at your mercy, man. I got blues, I got reds, I got uppers, I know what you're on already. First right, your Holy Father, as you call him, shit. I want his skill and craft and whatever the cocktail of shit he's got you on. But I want your business, and I'll be honest. Whatever he's got, I can match it and then some. I got shit you can shove up your ass, and I tell you, you'll think you're the Queen of England. You'll fly off buildings, and I tell you, you won't even feel when you hit the concrete. It's amazing. But these people, Jesus, I mean, fuck. You're playing right into their messianic complex. They're going to be sticking you on a tree in no time. I mean, and I hope you've got something like a pain suppressant or something planned here, man. Otherwise, you better have one fucking hell of a happy place. All right, I'll level with you. I got some seriously awesome shit in South China Sea. I tell you, these people, I mean, they believe everything you tell them when you're on this shit. It's amazing. I mean, they're building churches after me already. But yeah, you're right. I got to worry about that whole crucifixion thing. Well, the thing is, I've got this twin brother that's willing to, owe me a favor. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I wonder how they did it, eh? Those fake spikes. Ooh, oh, yeah, that hurts people. I'm seriously paying for your sins now. That shit is brutal. Shit, Father, you has forsaken me for no damn. Damn you, Father. Anyway, Jesus. You really know how to digress, you know what I mean? Like, I got fucking Hillary Clinton coming in next. I had to get baby parts flown in from London. Yeah, well... I suppose I could use some Thorazine. Might get the first good sleep I've had since the days of Galilee. These disciples practically hump my leg at night. I could use some Ativan. Stop it. You're bad. You're bad, like sheep are bad. The wolf will come to eat them. Jesus is an interesting character from a book which preys on people so that they can only imagine a place where suffering comes to an end. Because people with neither anatomical specificity nor will of their own come and wistful pay to a place where God will live with them forever. Or TV will be irrelevant because your habitat will be so effulgent. Just the thought of being in a place where you could never be bored, I think, is terrifying for human beings because of the insouciant ennui when they're insufficiently excited or employed. Seriously, this is an existential problem. I'm a philosopher of the human spirit, and I've never seen a vagina, except as it has been graphically represented through the incredible invention of the internet. Which, by the way, thank you for that. I put the monk in, whacking it like a monkey in a mango tree. Oh. Speaking of whacking it like a monkey, a mango tree, anyway, whacking it. Be good for a game, like a board game, whacking for a young man. You see your sister in the change room with some of her friends. You get 3 whack-it points. Some rare, never-before-seen footage of Madonna kissing Lauren Bacall or something. 1 whack-it point because you haven't heard of those people. But it's still girls kissing. That's always worth a whack. One of your friends plays the whack-a-mole game a little too long and takes it seriously. You get -3 whacks. You don't whack for an entire week after that. After you've gotten out of the hospital. Oh, I did a week of community service. Oh, I'm losing it. How I whacked the Australian Congress in shape with my talk on chronic masturbation. People of the world, you may think that chronic masturbation is a joke. You may think that a pig in a poke is all a man needs when he reaches that long, wide stretch of open highway known as middle age, and he's never seen a vagina, nor come within striking distance of pubic hair that hasn't already been spoken for by the Lord Monsignor himself. There is something charming about the lengths to which I go to amuse myself. It's almost like the sun. Almost like the sun. In the history of my bum, I could read my own ass. It would tell me the secrets of the universe. Maybe that's why. People will never know the mystery of the universe because it's written in your own asshole. And you have to read it yourself. You'll have to do some serious yoga. It's like, wait a second, I got it. Wait, it says eat at Joe's. What does that mean? No, that was just some subliminal advertising. What does it really say? It says, what does it say? What would my own ass tell me after I worked all my life to read what was written in my own asshole? Perhaps it would be some incantation that would cure me of the unwanted obsessions which had attended my pursuits. That successful as they were, I was now damned to a life of scatological proportions. Relieve yourself of such fears, O great Lord, for you have found the great button of Shiva, which activates your divine chakra. You shall now share your wisdom with the world in discreet little quips that are of so few words that you cannot possibly mistake them for the inestimable wisdom of Lord Brahma himself. Let us give you an example. All is bliss. Eat your vegetables. All will be well. tears are precious to the one who truly loves you. Dude, wow, that's one hell of a... I've never had sex, but I think a red-headed woman would be sumptuous. It'd be like a banana chocolate chip muffin, you know? Like it sort of melts in your mouth. With a little bit of potassium, you know? I think pushies should be nutritious, you know? A part of a healthy diet. If she's uncertain, she should put some guacamole there with some anchovies. Maybe some shredded cheddar cheese. Some sour cream. Oh, bacon bits. Oh, gotta do it. You might as well cover up a few wieners in there too and put some baked beans. Hey, you know what? Just hold the pussy and give me a bowl of all that shit. And you'll have a free coupon to fuck whatever guy you want. Just give me the food. Food over dinner. Eating is good. Drinking is also acceptable. I find water, when I'm parched, to be to my heart's content. I find that the fluids of the earth do runneth strong through my blood, that it should have the viscosity which it requires, that I, in the mirthful generosities which I mete out in such witticisms as cannot possibly confound the most worthy receptacles for my incredible voice, that it should touch like tendrils of Shiva himself into the tiny vacuoles of unrepentant knowledge, which yet lay with the many folds of ribald celluloid and fat, that likes to coat the walrus-like proportions of the truly virile brothers and sisters whom I love the most. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Most of my love is fat. It has grown old with bonbons and trying to imagine still being horny by Janice on The Price is Right in the 1980s. It was actually Bob Barker's natural daughter. Oh. I get flatulent at the thought of Vanna White. It's more like flatulent Vanna White, for I think Pat Sajak is quite often treated to sense unknown from her otherwise perfectly shaped asshole. If you know that, you can see the contestants' noses twitching. That's funny. I could use a friend. Where? I gotta have some water. Isn't it lovely? This is what I wanted. I wanted like a nice end to my day. You know, some lesbians in the distance. Lesbians. I love lesbians. Lesbians are great. You know, even if they're not good looking. I like that. I'm trying to cultivate a healthier relationship with lesbians in my own mind, because I have a funny feeling I'm going to have run-ins with lesbians throughout my life. Gender fluids. I mean, I just have no desire to offend anybody. I don't know what direction my penis is going to move in the future. I think sometimes my North Pole changes direction. Sometimes it goes east and west. Sometimes it just hangs low, pointed down, like, it's alright. I'm like an old warrior who never saw active combat. I don't exactly have the same kind of shock and the kind of emotional scar tissue as my fellow man. nor do I really have the heart to try to insert myself into a fertile vagina. I'd rather give my semen to the outgoing tide.
What are you doing? Oh shit. Fancy in my suspension, bro.
Crazy like the sun. 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 Oh, huh. The sign bonjour. Crazy like the sun. Crazy like the sun. Bonjour is the sign of joy in the clouds. Cause I'm enjoying making the sign of the sacrilegious one. The sign of oneness of the dream time and the flatulent underbelly of the vagina of the world. And its little pussy farts should entertain me with the music of the stars. Like this, for instance. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, you get the idea. Vivaldi, you have not disappointed us with